Trying to figure something out here. I hope it works. If it doesn't, oh well. I'm trying to figure it out. It'll happen eventually. Hopefully. There we go. I had to put something on my other phone. I'm reaching for my cord. My back is gone. Totally gone. Okay, well, not totally, but close enough to totally gone. Feeling and looking kind of rough today. It's hollering at me to rotate my device. No, I'm not going to rotate my device. I'm going to drop my device. Yay. Anyway. Anybody here? What's up? How's it going? Hope everybody's ready for the weather over the weekend if you hadn't started getting anything already. And if you have, I'm so sorry. It's cold and that's what's got my back down so bad. Like, it'd been hurting the past few days, but now it's gone. And let me see if I can figure this out. Hello, Andy and Rosaline. Snowed in. Oh my goodness. Whether or not don't get along. So yeah, I've been in like a fix. I'll say it that way. So I got up after I was watching. I can't even think anymore. Um, whenever you're hurting, your brain just kind of goes. Yeah, mine did that. But yeah, with all this cold weather moving in and getting worse and everything else, it just took my back out with it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I had to rearrange everything here to be able to do anything. And I was laying in bed earlier, not able to move for a while. And I was like, I want to get up, but I can't. So I finally worked my way up until I was finally able to get up to go use the bathroom and make. Okay, I made coffee about an hour after I got up, but went ahead and took a couple Motrin, and I'm half sitting on my heating pad, half got it going up my back with a pillow behind me because, yay, I found out if I put a pillow behind me, it helps. And I hear my husband going out the door for something. I'm not sure what, but there's no telling. He's probably going to check the mail. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here a minute because I know the key to anything is consistency. Well, it's not real easy to be consistent whenever you have a back that's going out on you. uh, oh, here we go. I can move that thing, I think. Um, uh, I got my other little phone here just so I can read chat because my eyes aren't so great, so I can't see. It's like 2 feet away, I guess, and I can't see that far away, even with glasses, and I'm not trying to strain my eyes. Old. I'm not old, but um, as you get older, it gets a lot less fun. But at least I know what I want to look like whenever I get older. Old as in, okay, I'm not going to get old. I made up my mind. It's not fun. I don't like doing anything unless it's fun. But my mother, she is, how old is my mother? Oh, I know how old she is. Um, I'll say she's older than 75, and she's not old. Um, you're only as old as you feel, I guess. And today, I'm like, I don't know. I won't give an age because I know a lot of people, if I were to say I'm in my 60s, well, I'm in my 60s and I'm good. No, I'm not going to do that to insult anyone because I know my mother, she's happy where she is in her life and health, and she is not old. And I have to mark off another row. So I am still not able to work on the graph that I was working on because it's in a tub. And if I can get up here to grab my phone, then I'll flip it and show you why. Let's see. Here we go. This under here, that's where I'm working on my graph down, and it's like, I don't know how wide, how long, how whatever the thing is. Hey, Vicky. But yeah, I'm not able to pull at that box because what I'll do is I'll work a row and then I'll turn my box and work another row, and then I'll turn my box and work another row, and that's just too much. So today I am working on another um, Afghan. I know what it's called. I don't do well with medication, and even though I'm not highly medicated, for me, I am. My version of heavily medicated is I took 2 Motrin, over the counter, extra strength Motrin, and it doesn't take much to make me feel medicated. um, my doctor put me on prescription strength Motrin, and that's 800 milligrams, but taking 2 Motrin, I think that's like 400 milligrams. Not much. Most people take it, they're fine with 2 for a headache. But me, I don't take much medicine, so even a little bit for me, um, it's a lot because I can't take it. The last time that I did get the refills on my Motrin, it didn't do well for me. It helped with the pain in my back, but it didn't do anything kind to my stomach. But how medication works with me is I can't take many kinds of medication like Tylenol. So I took 2 Motrin, but how it works for me is I have an extremely high metabolism, and I took it at 3, I think. But most people, it's like if you're in really, really, really in a bad way with anything, and because mine is back pain, then I'll say because back pain, you take Motrin to feel better, and then you wait like an hour or two, and then you're feeling the effects, whether you realize it or not. Me, on the other hand, with a high metabolism and how my body works, is I took it about, it was actually about 15 minutes till, so like 2:45 I took it, and by 3 o'clock I was like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to feel it. So 15 minutes after that, I'm like, yep, I got into full effect. And yeah, I'm still hurting, but not nearly as bad as I was. And I've got about 2 hours total before it just comes back full force, which is why I refuse to take, unless it's, I have no other choice. I'm not going to get shots in my back again, because what happens is I get the shot. Like the first time I got the shot, I just got one in my hip, and the doctor was like, okay, well, you're going to have to lay in here for 15 minutes, and then a nurse will come check on you, but you'll be laying in here a total of like 30 minutes, and then that's whenever you should start feeling the effects. And I was like, okay. So while the doctor's in there, the nurse, she's in there, and she's like, okay, bend over, and she gives me the shot in my hip. Thought I would just hit the floor. Thing was just, I was on fire. It hurt worse than anything I'd ever felt before. So I was like, this doctor doesn't know me, and my body can react to different things in different ways. So she gives me the shot and tells me, okay, lay down on the little examination table thing and just wait, because I know you're going to be in pain. So I'm laying there, and hey, Leon, thanks for joining. Oh, and if anybody wants to share their link, type the word drop, just DROP, and it should work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So, so I'm laying on this table immediately after I get the shot. So it was like 2 minutes later, and the doctor, after that, looks at me. Oh, okay, well, we'll be back in here in just a few minutes. And I said, okay. Oh, hey, before you leave, doctor, didn't you say this shot's gonna take like 15 minutes? And he says, yeah. And I says, oh, well, it's been 15 minutes, right? No, ma'am. And I said, well, I feel fine. What? And whenever I walked in at a 90-degree angle. Yeah, here's my legs, and this is my back and my head. And I'm like, I feel great. I feel fine. There's nothing wrong with me. And and he's like, really? Stand up. He didn't believe me. And I stood up, and I was like bending and moving and taking it easy. But I was like, see, I wasn't acting crazy over it, but I was like, I'm fine. And yeah, I know. I'm at an angle. Uh, I'm not. I ain't worried about it, because I'm in pain. I'm not getting up just to move it. but but I get up, and I'm not gonna be on here long anyway. I don't do long lives. Hey Shaz, feel free to type drop. Yeah, I know. It's I'm not worried about it. Um. Oh, wait a minute. I know what you're saying. I'm okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm at an angle I didn't realize until I looked down at this phone. I'm at that kind of an angle. I thought you meant like I was a little bit crooked. All right, be patient. Oh, okay. because I'm on this phone just reading chat, and I wasn't paying any attention to that. Oh, thank you, Leon, for telling me. Look, that's not what I'm saying. I thought you meant like I was just crooked, like my phone was crooked. I didn't realize it whenever you put it side, because anyway, whenever my comments don't work. Okay. Um hey, I see you. Hold on. Only Hey, Matt. Only one. Oh, only one at a time. Oh my goodness, that stinks. I'm so sorry. Huh. I don't know. I don't know why that is. Um, I'm sorry. That's crazy. But yeah, so anyway, the long and the short, what ended up happening was I stood up and I was like, Doctor, I'm fine, you know. And then he looked, he was like, well, I can't understand why. And this was a different one that I went to on this particular day, and he didn't know my history and didn't bother to look. And I told him, I says, well, there's a reason for that. And he's like, oh, yeah. I said, I have a high metabolism. He's like, yeah, that's why you're so small. And I said, no, I have an extremely high metabolism. And he looks at me, he says, oh, you're the patient that your doctor was talking about earlier. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, we were talking about you. Um, you're the one that has hypermetabolism. And I says, yeah. And he says, oh my word. He says, you were my scary one. I said, what do you mean I'm your scary one? And he says, there are people in this world that have high metabolism, but I've never actually met anyone that has hypermetabolism, not like yours. He says, we've been baffled by you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't care at this point. I just want to feel better. And I get a shot, and 2 minutes later, I'm fine. He's like, you're the one. He says, okay, here's my best medical advice. He says, go home now. And I says, okay. He says, yeah, this shot is supposed to work anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. But you, I can't make any promises. He says, it might last an hour, maybe two. He says, I was warned about you. Whatever you put in, whatever we do to your body, it goes through fast. And I was like, yeah. And he says, I can't make any promises how long this is going to last, but it's not. He says, it's going to work one or two ways. Either you're going to feel great for hours, or this is going to be no time at all. So, whatever time it was, whenever I got that shot, it was like, I'm going to say 4 o'clock. So, I get home. It takes about 15 minutes to get home. And I get home and I'm on the couch. And then I look and I'm like, oh my goodness. It seemed like it was no time. And I was in full force pain again. And, hey, Dinky. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been able to get on a whole lot lately. But it was like 4:30. And it was on full force. And I'm like, oh man, this stinks. But then the second time I went in, I went to a real chiropractor. And I'm sorry, I'm slow. Good afternoon. Hey, Brian, I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, anyway, I went to the chiropractor and I'm little, like you can't tell. I'm little, So I went to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor says, "Yeah, you're getting shots in your back because you can't function like this." And I was like, "Well, I'm doing better than what I was. I can walk now without having anybody carry me to the bathroom. As long as I can get to the bathroom on my own, I'm good." So about that time, no, get the needles ready. So the assistant goes and or uh, the nurse goes and she's like filling up the shot and whatever. And the doctor comes and he's like, "Okay, this is gonna hurt." And I was like, "Okay." So he gives me a shot and he's like, "No, this is going to hurt bad. But our back rooms are full, so I can't take you in there to give it to you. So, I'm sorry." And I didn't understand what he was saying at the time. And then I was like, "There's nothing wrong with this room." Okay, just bear down. And he's like, "You need to hold anything." And I was like, "No, I got my pocketbook." So I'm holding on to my pocketbook at the time, just to grip to bear down. And he's like, "Okay, I hate to do this because I'm little. I don't have like the like you can see here, that my wrist bone and my spine is the same way. I mean, you can see everything." So he's like, "I'm so sorry," and he gives me a shot. And my husband's in the room with me. No, 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 I take that back. My daughter was in the room, my oldest daughter, and was she? No, it was my husband. It was my husband. Sorry, it's been a while. So he goes to give me the shot, and he's like, "Ooh." And I'm just like, "Okay, you can ooh all you want. This is painful, dude. Shut up and just get it over with." And he's like, "You did really good with that." And I was like, "Mm-hmm. Get it over with." So he goes and he puts it in another place. And by that time, he's like, "Nurse, can you come here a second? This is crazy." And she's like, she goes over there and she says the same thing. She's like, "Oh my word. I've never seen anything like that before." "Hey, it's Think the Dragon." Oh, cool. I'm gonna try and definitely get on to one of your lives because I know you have them like all the time. But so anyway, the nurse goes over there and she's like, "Oh, doctor, I've never seen anything like this before." And I was like, I'm sitting here laying on my stomach, not able to see what they're doing up here. And then he's like telling my husband, he says, "Man, you gotta see this." I'm like, "Just give me my shots. This is hurting." So he's like, "Look at her." And I didn't see anything, but my husband, he walks over there and he's like, "Okay, what?" He's like, "Watch her muscles. I have never seen anything like this before." And he goes to put in the third shot. And my husband, he's like, "Is that worms?" And I'm flipping out now because he said, he says, "Is that worms?" And I'm like, "What? There's worms in my back?" And he's like, "No, that's her muscles." And he was saying that whenever he put in, after he was done, he's like, "Okay, calm, take a deep breath. Can you handle it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I'm crying. I don't cry. I'm not a crying person. Um, Not whenever it comes to medical stuff. I don't cry. Um, I cry out of more than frustration whenever I do cry. But anyway, so I've got tears coming out now. And he goes to do the fourth one. He's like, "Okay, we're on shot number 4. This is going to be, the more shots you get, the more intense it gets." And I was like, "Okay." And he had already told me, "You're getting 6 shots, which is the max." He says, "If I could give you more than that, I would because you're back. You waited way too long. You should have been in here at least a year ago." And I'm like, "Well, I could still walk a year ago." He says, "But you were hurt a year ago?" "Yeah, but I could walk." So, you know, I don't go to the doctor's office unless it's a have to. And he says, oh, okay, well, okay, this is going to hurt. He says, okay, give me a second. And he says, oh, well, what do you get? I said, I just need to take a breath. And he, okay, why are you out of breath? And I'm like, because I would rather hold my breath than scream and embarrass anybody. Oh, you need to breathe. Oh, I will. After you give me this one. And then give me a minute and then take you. I mean, it's painful. So anyway, he gives me the fourth one. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, okay. I've been mentally preparing myself for, all this. So he gives me the fourth one and he says, okay, I'm done. What do you mean you're done? He says, I don't think you can take anymore. I says, no, really, I'm fine. No, you really can't take anymore. What do you mean I can't take anymore? I'm fine. And he says, I'm shocked that you got through four. He says, that's why I wanted to take you in the back room. That's where I take my men at. Sorry, fellas. He says, whenever I have to give shots to men, I always take them in the back room to get them away from the waiting room and other patients, blah, 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 because men tend to scream, and usually I only give two. And I says, yeah, but you gave me four. You told me you were going to give me six, and I'm okay with that. And no, baby, I'm sorry. I can't give you six. Oh, okay, I'm not complaining, but okay. He says, no, I wanted to give you all six. You need all six, and that's the max that I can give is six. But you ran out of meat. I'm like, what? He says, no, really. You have to have, this goes into your muscle, into your meat, into and you literally don't have the meat on your bones for me to give you any more. If I could, I would. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not complaining. I was just asking. Wow. State of emergency. That's why I keep getting all those notifications. We are under a state of emergency, says Governor Henry McMaster of South Carolina. I think we all knew that, though, right? Pretty much the whole U.S., parts of Canada. Pretty sure we're all under storm warning for the snow, ice, wind, sleet, whatever. Yeah, I'm over it. I'm not ready for it. But we all knew that this was coming and it's going to be bad, etc., etc. Um, but anyway, no, I'm not taking it lightly. Um, but I'm concerned over it because being in the South, we are not prepared because we don't usually get in weather like this. Am I concerned? Yeah, but I'm not worried about it because I've already done what I'm supposed to do. Um, Not everything because I wasn't able to, but I was supposed to do in my mind anyway. I wanted to get all the bedclothes washed to make sure that we had all of our clothes washed, had everything clean. Um, that way, if we lost power, I wouldn't have to worry about any. I wasn't able to do any of that, but concerned, yeah, I'm concerned. I'm not worried because I already put it in the Lord's hands. So, and I'm not taking it out. Whenever you give something to God, it belongs to Him. Not my problem anymore. Because once you give something to God, you can't take it back and expect to give it to Him again. That's how I feel over it. Just like with my back issues. Um, I got up this morning and I was concerned. No, I take that back. This morning I got up and I was worried. I was scared because it took me so long to be able to get up. And I was scared. Well, what if I'm not able to get up this time? Um, Gotten close to it a few times and I was, well, what if I can't get up? What if I can't get up? And then I was able to get up and I'm like, okay, well, now that I can get up, I mean, I just woke up anyway. We all have problems getting out of bed sometimes. So I'm able to get up and do the morning stuff that everybody does in the morning. You get up, use the bathroom, wash your face, wake up, whatever, whatever. So anyway, I get up and eventually I'm okay. And now I'm to the point, yeah, I'm hurting. Am I worried about it? No. Am I concerned? Yeah. I mean, you have to have concern over things without being worried. I mean, if I sat here and dwelled on the thoughts of fear and I was scared, well, what happens if I can't get up? What happens if this? What happens if that? Honey, I gave that to God. That's his problem. You know, just like with all this snow or ice or whatever it is coming in, you prepare as much as you can. And I'm not sitting around worrying what's going to happen if we get snow, what's going to happen if we get ice, what's going to happen. I already know what could happen. We could lose power. Okay, well, I've got blankets. Our house is warm. What happens if the pipes freeze? Well, more than likely ours won't because they're wrapped up pretty good. If I feel like, we need to drip our water, then we'll do those precautions or whatever. It could, but I've already I gave it to God. I'm not dealing with it. It's not my problem anymore. I put my faith in the Lord. So I think we're good. Besides that, we've got food. My only real concern are my husband turned his TV off, so now I'm like, is he listening to me? And that makes me nervous. But anyway, I'm not concerned about us. We're gonna be fine. I'm concerned more about people that have animals as property. I'm concerned over the animals that um, people have on chains. Yes, that's still legal here as long as they have water, food, shelter. That's not enough. That's not enough. Just because you have something over your head, you go out there. You stay outside 24/7. As long as you have food and water, that's not cool. So I'm concerned over that, and I'm concerned over people that are homeless and those that don't have shelter, which is why I make these in my spare time, and I've got plenty of spare time. So whenever I'm watching everybody's videos and I'm visiting you and doing your lives, and a lot of times, I know a lot of you, um, whenever I go on your lives and I know it's become, oh yeah, that's why I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm here, but lurking and working, lurking and working, and this is usually what I'm doing, because I love, 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 love making crafts, but they take so long, and then you have so much to sew in, so whenever I'm on lives and I really want to get involved in reading chat and everything else, when I'm not sitting at my computer, this is what I'm doing. Whenever I say I'm working and working, I'm taking yarn that I have that I don't have enough to do anything with, and I just make afghans to go to those in need. And that's what's fun for me. Um, it, it's better to give than to receive. So, you know, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy giving to other people. It's my payment because nobody wants to work for free, and I'm not going to. Listening and knitting up of socks for friends. You know what? You aggravate me, Rosalind. Not in a bad way. I see so, and I'm in so many knitting communities as well as crochet, but I want to knit. I've always said, I want to learn how to knit. I want to learn how to knit. But honestly, even though I do have time for it, I don't have time to learn because I would feel horrible. I'm like, well, it took me long enough to learn how to crochet. And I don't want to waste my time. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but I don't want to waste my time learning how to knit, even though I would love it. I think it is beautiful. Um, but I'm a very, very, very slow learner. And I feel like if I took the time to learn how to knit, I already know it would take me weeks to learn. Um, and that would take away time um, where I could be doing something for somebody else and I would feel guilty. And so I can't do it. Yes. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Socks are nice to receive. A hug for you. And my phone is ringing. And I can get up. You know, well, knitting does go slow for me. Okay, well, she hung up. Yeah, I got it as fast as I could. Knitting goes a lot slower for me than crocheting, but it does come out really well. It's a whole different thing. Well, decline for a second. I am gonna have to go because that's my daughter calling. No, I'm gonna call her back. That's my daughter calling, and for her to call back to back, for her to call period, it's important. So I'm gonna figure out how to end this again. But I definitely thank each and every one of you for joining me today. It means a lot, and I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll figure it out. But I appreciate y'all joining me and pray for everybody. I'm definitely asking for prayers, but more importantly, I'm okay. I have everything that I need and a lot of my wants. So y'all do me a big, 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 massive favor and pray for everybody this weekend that needs the warmth in the shelter, and for the ones, pray that everybody can find shelter tonight in some way or another because This cold is no joke, and what we have coming in here is dangerous. So, y'all pray for everybody that they can find a way to stay warm tonight, shelter, food, whatever they need. Just pray that all of their needs will be met, and I'm going to keep every one of y'all in my prayers also. And I'm going to end this, but for anybody that wants to right quick hit drop, and I'm getting out of here because that's the third time. And y'all have a good morning, noon, or night, and love each other, and have a good one. God bless y'all. Bye.